So, here's my review of Monster Hunter. Paul W.S. Anderson is back with another video game adaptation, but I'm pretty certain most people will be less familiar with this one than they were with Resident Evil. And maybe that was the point. I mean, this is just a theory of mine, but perhaps other more well-known brands were like, well, Paul, we saw what you did with Resident Evil, and while we appreciate those movies made money, in pretty much everyone's opinion, they were the opposite of good. And in terms of continuity, they didn't have any, which was amazing because you wrote and directed all of them. Anyway, so the story, if you can call it that, a group of soldiers are on a mission in the desert and they get trapped in a teleportation type thing and they get transported into a world that's filled with monsters and they need to fight them to survive and then find a way home. That's it. That's the whole plot. I understand why he chose this game to adapt into a movie. Paul has a track record of not being a great storyteller, with the exception of maybe Event Horizon. And Resident Evil certainly proved he couldn't keep track of his storylines. But Monster Hunter, the game, was just about really the character going around killing monsters. I mean, that was it. So there's no way even Paul could mess that up. And to be fair, in this one, he doesn't. I mean, it's not a great film, and once you've watched it, it's all pretty forgettable stuff. But whilst I was watching it, I thought it was fun seeing all these monsters charge around, eating people. Pretty brain-dead stuff. Mila Jovovich is once again playing her standard action hero. One thing I do need to mention is, while you can think what you want about her in the Resident Evil films, whether they're good or bad or whatever, you can't deny the impact she's had in movies embracing female action heroes. I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously we already had Ripley and Sarah Connor, but she's definitely played her part, and well, you gotta give her that. It was great to see Tony Jaa back in action. He's one of my favourite martial artists, and if you haven't seen Ong Bak, I encourage you to do so. The fight scenes between him and Mila Jovovich's character were actually quite good because you got to see some long sequences rather than loads of quick cuts to hide the fact that the actors can't pull off the moves. So in conclusion, I did enjoy it. It was paper thin, but they weren't trying to be anything more than a simple popcorn movie, so you kind of got to judge it on that basis. So I give it 3 giant spiders out of 5.